A federal judge has just ruled that President Trump's use of the Alien Enemies Act to deport Tren de Aragua gang members is legal. And they said that Trump's proclamation and the documents, quote, support the finding that TDA is committing a predatory incursion. And it is apparently legal, according to at least one federal judge. Obviously, this is going to be tied up in the courts for a while, but who knew that there was a judge out there who could actually tell his ass from his elbow and decide that, hey, instead of trying to, throw President Trump some curveballs, let's just go by the law. Let's just interpret what's constitutional and what's not. Let's just leave it at that. And so now we have this breaking news. I'm just going to say this, and I want to get into this other stuff that we have, but I just, as we all know, Sara Gonzales Unfiltered, President Trump's favorite show. Everyone knows that. It's, we don't like to brag about it, but like he doesn't miss a Sara Gonzales Unfiltered show, or so I'm told, allegedly. Okay. And I would just like to tell them, I'm so happy that you guys are doing anything to get all of these illegals out of the country. But if we could just ramp it up a couple notches, especially with this recent ruling, if we could just like really ramp it up, and if we could just keep having these new numbers coming out, because the DHS website has been stuck at 100,000 for a very long time. And you guys, I think both of you guys know, Justin and Matt, the deportation tracker that we had. We had the deportation tracker, and then I've realized, like, you guys are not changing the damn numbers. And I was tired of 100,000 being on the screen the whole time, so I just stopped showing it. And so it's like, okay, we got the federal judge. He ruled in our favor, or she. I'm going to guess it's a he. He ruled in our favor, and like, let's just put the pedal to the metal and get these people the hell out of our country. And neither of you guys can say, sounds like something a white person would say, because I'm not. Justin, I'll let you go first.
Thanks. So that's a very nice lead-in. Look, I think that ultimately this was a huge mistake by the left to try to stop this in the courts, because at some point, actually, the worst thing that could happen is it stops right where it is right now, where they've lost, but it ends at a district court level. If this makes its way to the Supreme Court, and then the Supreme Court decides, yep, this is totally fine, which is probably going to happen if they get to that level, then they never get this back. And I think it's just a huge strategic mistake on their part. They've overplayed their hands. They're constantly engaging in warfare. And I really think this is an example of it backfiring. I also don't understand how this law wouldn't apply to an organized group of people that are like murdering and transporting things across, and people, human trafficking, like across borders, and somehow this doesn't count? Who does this law apply to in their minds? Like, I don't get, it's just incredible that anyone would take that position. It's amazing. So I hope this backfires. I really do. And I think it will.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, well, listen, Matt, when you've got the brainiacs like, Jasmine Crockett and AOC leading the charge in the Democrat Party, who knows what could happen?
Yeah, I mean, this is just a disaster for them. I mean, as we've said before, they used to say, oh, it's the granny that's at the border. Look, they're deporting the mom and they're kicking the kids out. And now they're just full on going, no, we want a gang member back in the country. And that just doesn't resonate with anybody. I don't know anyone that is thinking that that is a good idea or that they want that. And it's been a massive red pill for a lot of people. As you said, look, we all know why they want them in here, because what they want to do is they want to get them in, then they want to give them ID, and then they want them to vote. If these people were coming in and they were voting Republican, the border would be shut like toot sweet. It would be done immediately, right? So we know what they're trying to do, but by overplaying their hand, as Justin said, is that like they're massively overplaying their hand. They've alerted everyone to the truth of what they're really trying to do. And again, I said it earlier on, I don't think that they will win in the next 3 elections. I don't. If we don't implode, if we get a couple of JD Vances and at least one one Ron DeSantis in there. I think that I cannot see them running anyone that is competent. Because, by the way, we've taken them. The person that they should have run was Tulsi Gabbard. She's working for us now. So I think that they are in a lot of trouble. I think they're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, Justin, I do want to get to this next story, and it ties perfectly into all of this immigration talk. But what are your thoughts on elections to come, the midterms? Do we still, because I watch this and I'm just so gleeful that we're finally in the driver's seat, that I'm like, we're good, we're gonna sail, we're gonna coast. And then I'm like, well, I don't know, because historically midterms have been really hard and there's still a lot of game to be played. Not to claim that this is just all a game, but you know what I mean with the analogy. There's still a lot of game left to be played, and maybe a lot of it remains to be seen. But it does feel like we have the momentum still, right?
Yeah, I mean, so the bad news is this. If you go back and you look at elections and you go all the way back to the 1970s, there has only been 2 times since like 1970 or so that you've had a president come in and his party win, and then that party stays in power in the midterm right after that. Okay? Wow. It almost never happens. The 2 times it happened was Jimmy Carter back in the 70s when Democrats won the House always, and so that was the reason why. And the other time was George W. Bush in 2002 right after 9/11. That's the only 2 times that it's happened. Everybody else, even Golden Boy Barack Obama, it didn't even happen for him. So it is that's the bad news. The good news is we may have found people so spectacularly stupid and bad at politics that they find a way to break the trend. And I think it literally may have happened. These are the pro organized crime party. Like that's the platform now. That's part of the platform. And I don't think that platform usually wins. So it is remarkable. It is remarkable what has happened. But there are a lot of people voting who really don't know what the hell they're doing. And so it's incredibly, it's very possible that this could happen. The other thing to keep in mind is that in the last go around of the census and then the redistricting of House seats, Democrats had a lot of power during that period of time. And so the redistricting favored them heavily. That's one of the reasons why the House is so tight right now compared to back, say 10 years ago or whatever, like during the Barack Obama years when the Republicans were winning overwhelmingly in the House. That's part of it, is because the redistricting favored the Democrats. So that's another hurdle for Republicans. But with that said, we are dealing with spectacularly stupid policy ideas that nobody wants. And the other side of that is there's no positive platform either. It's not like, we have a bunch of stupid ideas, but we have great ideas too off to the side that everybody loves. They don't have any positive ideas. It's all negative, and a lot of the negative ideas are dumb. And so I do wonder how likely it is, but I wouldn't put anything past voters in a midterm election.
Yeah. You'd like to hope that voters are not that stupid. But they did vote in Joe Biden once, I'm told, in the safest and most secure election, in which Joe Biden definitely got 81 million votes, more than Barack Obama. Very, very popular, that Joe Biden. Can't wait to read the book talking about how he pooped his pants every day in the White House. If you like this clip and you want to see the full episode, click here. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, come on, you know you do. Click here.